welcome to the latest edition of Our Defense with me, Rakhta Mishra. Viewers, you're watching the show that brings you all the top defense stories and the stories that matter for India. From the India-France deal on the Hammer bomb kit to the warning by the Defense Secretary to defense manufacturers to the notum that has been issued in the Bay of Bengal. We get you covered with all the top stories of the week as we keep our forces first. So viewers, India has taken a big step forward in defense manufacturing. Bharat Electronics Limited and France's Safran Electronics Defence have signed a 50-50 joint venture agreement to manufacture the advanced Hammer precision guided air-to-ground weapon system on Indian soil. It's going to be made in India. Now the Hammer, it stands for Highly Agile Modular Munition Extended Range. It's a smart munition, a smart bomb that converts regular bombs into high-precision weapons using GPS plus laser or infrared guidance, enabling accurate strikes with minimal collateral damage. And now, under this deal between Safran and, of course, BEL, components, electronics and mechanical parts will gradually be produced in India, raising the indigenous content about 60%. Now, final assembly, testing and quality control will be handled by BEL. With this, India not only reduces dependence on foreign imports for critical defense equipment, but also strengthens domestic defense manufacturing capability in line with Atmanirbhar Bharat goals. And in short, what was once a fully imported weapon system is now moving towards being built in India, a concrete step towards operational readiness for the Indian Air Force and Navy. Now, originally, viewers, it has been, why is it important, viewers? Why India is going all Hammer and BrahMos now? It has been used by NATO forces in Afghanistan, Mali, Libya and Syria. Now, importantly, it has been used in Operation Sindoor. We'll go to that part very, very soon. Now, Hammer has been used to obliterate the terror hubs in Pakistan very, very importantly. So, Pakistan knows very well what the Hammer is capable of. It is resistant to jamming as well. India first acquired the system in 2020 during heightened tensions with China after Galwan clash. It was part of the emergency procurement, viewers. Now, its impact was seen most recently during Operation Sindoor, as I just mentioned, where the Indian Air Force used the Hammer-armed Rafale jets to carry out deep, precise and calibrated strikes on terror infrastructure in Pakistan and the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, if we compare, now why do we need the Hammer? Because we've been talking about the BrahMos so much, viewers. But both are very, very important. Many of the analysts tell us that India must adopt a dual-track missile strategy. BrahMos should remain the scalpel, a precise, high-value strike weapon. But India also needs a Hammer, a cheaper, long-range cruise missile that can be mass-produced in large numbers to saturate enemy systems. Operation Sindoor cemented BrahMos' reputation. But future conflicts will demand not just speed and accuracy, they will also demand scale. They need preparation for that challenge, and it may shape India's next phase of missile development. Okay, so viewers, let me just get you, we will go straight across to our guest without wasting any time, and we will go across to Air Commodore Ashminder Behel joining us on the broadcast for more. Okay, let me just tell you the difference between both the BrahMos and Hammer. Now, this is, of course, the long-range cruise missile I was just telling you. This is the precision glide GPS-guided bomb. It's a smart bomb, as it is called. Now, the range for Hammer is 15 to 70 kilometers. Of course, this is a very, very longer range missile. Speed is Mach 2.823. It is subsonic. If we talk about Hammer, it's a glide munition. If you talk about the role, it is used for surgical strikes on fortified targets, just like India had done that during Operation Sindoor. BrahMos, the deep strike anti-ship and attack. Of course, this is what Pakistan is well aware of. What BrahMos is capable, they have admitted themselves. People in India can keep questioning. Now, warhead is 200 to 300 kilograms. We talk about the BrahMos. 125 to 1,000 kilograms. You can see the difference as far as the warhead carrying capability of these two are concerned. Talking about the other, the differences, it's low altitude launch, pinpoint accuracy, and jam-proof guidance. Jam-proof is very, very important. So it doesn't, it is resistant to the jammers. This is high speed, of course. BrahMos is a supersonic missile. It's high impact, and it, of course, carries out kinetic destruction. And next we go on to another, we will discuss more about the difference and the requirement with Air Commodore Ashminder Bahal joining us on Our Defence once again. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Our Defence, sir. Commodore Bahal, well, India is going all hammer and BrahMos on the enemy, isn't it? Now, hammer, sir, is going to be made in India. It's known as a smart bomb, big boost for make in India. But could you just highlight for our viewers, sir, why is it so important?
Rachita, so nice to come back again with you on this important channel and discuss issues that are very germane to our country's movement of forward in Atmanirbharta. It's a great moment for India that we are going to co-develop those systems which are considered to be extremely advanced in the world. First of all, why should we develop a bomb like Hammer when we have a missile like BrahMos, which can reach up to 450 kilometers with 300 kg warhead? There are certain very important aspects to this. The first aspect is that we can convert dumb bombs. Dumb bombs are relatively much cheaper, which means they are not smart munitions, they are not very accurate, and they fall free under the effect of gravity. So those bombs could be 250 kg, 500 kg, 1000 kg bombs. And now we have those in large numbers and we can produce those in large numbers. So when we want to use a BrahMos missile, which is very costly, between $3 to $4 million per missile, we want to attack only a high value target. But once we want to attack all other targets that are there in the tactical battle area, not very far from the border, even if they are bunkers, mostly Pakistan hides their terrorists in bunkers or in command and control structures which are underneath the ground, and where you need penetration by a high mass weapon system such as the Hammer. We had earlier used in Balakot strikes Spice 2000 bomb. Whereas we don't need those now, we are going to co-develop it with the Safran company itself, this with Bharat Electronics Limited, with the indigenization content going up to 60%. And when we want to convert a large number of munitions into smart weapon systems, which means you need modification in two aspects. The first aspect is the guidance and accuracy part, where they will guide and accurately hit the bunker type or the hardened, the structure type of target systems, such as weapon depots, which are located in the vicinity of where the warfare is taking place. So those kind of targets, if you're going to hit, then this weapon would be very cost effective and you can use it. And remember, in warfare, the weapon systems are being consumed in hundreds or thousands per day. So when we are looking at that kind of scale, we need a weapon system that is not so expensive as a BrahMos missile, but does a task which it is required to do. And that is where Hammer comes in. And we are not only going to produce for the Air Force, we are also going to produce it for the Navy, Indian Navy, where we are getting 26 more Rafale. But more importantly, it is the strategic cooperation and strategic partnership that we have with France. France is our second largest importer and second largest exporter of defense equipment to India. Can you believe that? Second largest exporter and second largest importer of defense equipment, which includes software and electronic equipment, as well as systems for airframe, systems for Airbus aircraft, which is also one of the companies is from France. Now, when we look at this, we are also looking at developing an ecosystem. If you remember, Rafale fuselage are going to be manufactured in India, in Hyderabad, between Dassault Aviation as well as Tata Advanced Systems Limited. Then we are also going to manufacture Safran engine, co-develop it in India. And that's going to have 100% transfer of technology. Imagine the ecosystem that we are developing in India today. Imagine how fast we are indigenizing things. Imagine how fast we don't have to depend on any country in case a war takes place, when you require the scale of weapon systems which are being consumed very rapidly, being produced in India. So you are not going to be held economic blackmail from any country if you can develop those systems in India. And imagine that in case of the Rafale fuselage, which we are developing with Tata Advanced Systems Limited, we'll be exporting it. There are 533 orders for Rafale for the French company, and they need another help, some other country which can manufacture the fuselage for them, and that's where India comes in. See, it's not just developing a bomb, it is developing an ecosystem, developing the MSMEs, developing the SMEs who will be supporting this ecosystem and enhancing the technological development in our great country, India.
Right, sir. Many thanks, Commodore Behel, for joining us with your insights on today's story, viewers. We'll tell you more about this partnership between India and France, viewers. This is about Safran, the French company that's involved in making the hammer. It has stepped up the expansion in India for civil and military aviation to further Atmanirbharta goals. Now, Safran is essentially looking at a model that blends global expertise and homegrown muscle. The Safran DRDO partnership currently propels the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, or the AMCA, much talked about AMCA, much awaited AMCA. Now, Safran has sealed a landmark 61,000 crore deal with DRDO's GTRE to co-develop a clean sheet 120 to 140 kilonewton thrust class turbofan engine. It has been touted as a from-scratch marvel, granting India 100% tech transfer, full IPR ownership and zero foreign components, slashing import chains and empowering other Indian firms to forge additional engines locally. In fact, France, and that is of course important, that France's aerospace giant Safran is doubling down on India, and not just with bombs and missiles, but with engines, maintenance, supply chains, deep technology transfer. So this of course has been signified by the inauguration of the first global engine MRO center outside France in Hyderabad that happened recently for servicing civilian aircraft. So the maintenance will be in India, a move that will shorten the maintenance cycles and also slash the foreign dependencies and make India a hub for engine upkeep. All right, viewers, now shifting focus to the other big story that we're tracking for on our defense today, viewers. We have on one hand modernization within the armed forces that is quickly picking up. It's much talked about, but Defense Secretary, echoing what the CDS said days ago, Defense Secretary Rajesh Kumar has sounded an alarm. He has in fact issued a warning. He has laid bare the emergency procurement deals that are meant for lightning fast buys. It must deliver in 1 year flat or phase foreclosure, point blank period. That's the warning. He questioned the overpromise, under-delivered trap, and vowing steeper liquidated damages to enforce timelines. And this, of course, is a big statement that has been given by the Defense Secretary.
Let me say that the delays are not only by domestic manufacturers. You've seen the S-400s getting delayed because of the conflicts. Israel orders, also many of them are delayed because of the conflicts that they are facing. There are supply chain issues which have affected them in the context of the General Electric engines that they've been having to wait for. So yes, all of it is not solely attributable to our indigenous manufacturers, but yes, I mean, there is a tendency to overpromise and underdeliver.
All right, so viewers, this is a comment that comes close on the heels of what Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan had said, echoing the same sentiment. In fact, General Chauhan had ripped into domestic players as well for botching the 5th and 6th phase fast tracks, calling the delays unacceptable. He had said that the army had reported that most Indian firms did not meet contractual deadlines. Listen in.
We expect a bit of nationalism and patriotism in your profit-driven endeavors. I'm given to understand, actually, the army was telling me that they were scouting around for 5th and 6th EP procurements. Most of the people have overpromised things and they fail to deliver in that time frame. Now, this is unacceptable. Defense reforms is not a one-way street. Industry will have to be truthful about their capabilities to us. You can't leave us in a lurch. If you sign a contract and you don't deliver at that particular time, it's a capability that is being lost. You have to be truthful about your indigenous capabilities. There could be security-related issues. A lot of industries say, okay, this is 70% indigenous. But actually, if you find out, it is not. So you have to be truthful in this, because it is related to its questioning matters of security. You will have to be cost competitive. Cost competitive is not for selling to the Indian Armed Forces. You have to be cost competitive so that you can compete in the foreign market. You can't have products which are overpriced.
And viewers, a similar, of course, sentiment was raked up, and in fact, it was Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh just recently who had in fact lamented the delay in the delivery of from HAL, of course, from Tejas, and this is a massive delivery deadlock that we're talking about. This is Rajesh Singh, the Defence Secretary, and after that, General Chauhan, 16th of November. Now, these are the projects specially in focus. There are many of them, but this is like the Tejas Mark 1 timeline. You can see it has been delayed. We talk about the next. Tejas, of course, is for HAL. Now, CATS Warrior UCAV as well. The original timeline was 2026, delayed, postponed to 2027 now. And Zorawar light tank, original timeline, again, you can see it was to be delivered this year, but again, it has been delayed. It's also about the S-400 air defense systems. India, of course, is waiting for the pending deliveries. Now, 2025 looks difficult. Next year, India is expecting, and with Vladimir Putin coming to India soon, India will be taking up that issue with the Vladimir Putin and the delegation from Moscow. We were shifting focus now. India has expanded the danger zone off the coast of Visakhapatnam between the 1st of December and 4th of December, issuing a notification, the NOTAM, that space for an upcoming sea-launched missile test could cover as much as 3,485 kilometers. This move comes amid renewed activity by multiple Indian Ocean region operating so-called research vessels from China. We call them the spy ships from China. Ships that, while officially civilian, are widely believed to carry advanced sensors capable of tracking missile telemetry, submarine movements, and maritime data. Okay, we just show you the no-fly zone. That is the maximum length. It's quite long range, if you see. And India, of course, aims to ensure the safety in the region, and it is in continuation of those efforts. So from Visakhapatnam, you can see this is off. This is near, of course, Odisha, but you go to it goes up to Visakhapatnam down south. Now, you show you this here on the wall, viewers. This is the Bay of Bengal region. The maximum length is 3,485 kilometers. And this entire region is on alert. This is a NOTAM that has been issued. No-fly zone for a likely missile test. Looks like a long range or could be a high altitude one as well. And henceforth, this notice to airmen has been sent out by New Delhi. And we will be joined shortly by our guest on that story. Okay, defense expert Major General A.K. Sivach is joining us on the broadcast. General Sivach, many thanks for joining us on our defense. How do you read into this NOTAM, sir? Because it's quite a long-range missile what we are looking at. We do not know exactly, of course, it is not going to be revealed. But in your understanding, sir, these NOTAMs and the missile test after missile tests, what message is this sending out, and what measures, India should be taking in this pursuit?
No, Shita, three things stands out. One is this, initially the planning of testing of these weapons was in October. But however, it was postponed because there were 4 spy ships which were, though in international water, very close to Bay of Bengal. But they were the Chinese ship and they could monitor this. And hence it was postponed. And possibility now taking place from 1st to 3rd. And again on 6th to 8th. And the type of missile which are likely to be tested, one is the BrahMos, that is anti-ship cruise missile, That is likely to be tested because that's a very potent weapon which we have, BrahMos, because it has done extremely well in Operation Sindoor. Now we want to use it as also anti-ship and with extended range. So that is one. Second thing is possibly Agni 6 is another one on the range. That can be also tested because Agni 6 now the range is more than 3,550 kilometers, and this is a very, very potent missile. And though of course it's a cruise missile, but it's extremely good. And even in BrahMos point 2 is again decided that it will be hypersonic. BrahMos 1.0 is a supersonic. Now Agni 6, and then there is chance of K4. That is a missile which can carry a nuclear warhead, and this can be fired from Arihant ship submarine which we have now recently got it manufactured within the country. Now that is again possibly can be tested. So we are contemplating it can be BrahMos, it can be BrahMos hypersonic also, it can be anti-ship also with extended range, it can be also Agni 6 which has a range of 3,550 kilometers, or possibly it can be a K4 which has also range of approximately 4,000 kilometers, which can be fired, it's a nuclear war, it can be fired basically from the submarine, and that is an Ariane nuclear powered submarine. Now the question comes is that how have we performed as far as the missile concerned? Remember that we are the powerhouse of the missiles, and after Russia and China it is India. And the best point of this is that it is all indigenous. And majority of these missiles we have made it ourselves. Initially we started with Prithvi, then we have now gone to Agni, then we have got Parle, we have also got BrahMos. BrahMos is a world-class cruise missile, and as we were discussing, BrahMos 2.0 will be hypersonic, though it is a joint production of India and Russia. The demand is increasing manifold. Philippines have already buy, Indonesia and Malaysia are on the last phase of the talk. So what I am saying, Asita, as far as the missiles are concerned, we are the powerhouse of the world, and the best thing is make in India, make for world. That is the formula which India is following.
Right, absolutely. General Sevas, many thanks for joining us on our defense viewers. And we now shift our focus to what happened in the national capital. Chanakya Defense Dialogue viewers, important statements coming in from the Chief of Defense Staff, General Subhan. He sounded a stark warning that global geopolitics is slipping into turbulence. Next era may bring far greater instability. He in fact flagged the change in future warfare and how India must be prepared. Also, we'll tell you what Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, said during the Chanakya Defense Dialogue, as he said that India wants peace but not at the cost of sovereignty. Listen in.
Global geopolitics itself is in a kind of a state of flux with shifting alliances and security interdependencies. The future world could hence be more violent and a very, very unstable place. And the militaries of nations have to be prepared for this particular eventuality. The technology and geopolitical trends will influence warfare. Essentially, this addresses the question of why and how wars take place. So Indian armed forces have to think of new trends to define new concepts, doctrines and strategies to take care of these two trends which I just spoke about. And they must therefore be ready to operate in an environment where rules of engagement are either non-existent or complex, or there are no rules of engagement at all.
India has always believed in peace and dialogue, and we remain committed to that approach. But let me say clearly, when it comes to our sovereignty and the security of our people, we do not compromise. Our armed forces have shown again and again that they are capable and ready. It is this blend of restraint and the firmness that allows us to manage our neighborhood challenges while contributing to regional stability.
And finally, viewers, India's coastal security has got a major boost, a powerful boost this week with the induction of INS Mahe, the first of a new class of shallow water anti-submarine warships built indigenously under the Cochin Shipyard Limited. Commissioned on 24th of November at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai, the INS Mahe stands out not just as a ship, but as a symbol of India's growing self-reliance in defense, viewers. This is the silent hunter in the seas. Why it's important? In fact, take a look at this beauty and understand the significance of the induction.
Today I am reminded that the strength of armed forces lies in synergy. The sea, land and the skies form a single continuum of national security. And together the Army, Navy and Air Force form the trinity of India's strategic strength. In this age of multi-domain operations, our ability to act in concert from the depths of ocean to the highest frontier will determine the security and influence of our republic. We are an operation line in every domain, from Ladakh to the Indian Ocean, from information warfare to joint logistics. Operation Sindoor was an apt example towards that synergy. The Indian Army too has launched a series of initiatives under our overall umbrella of a decade of transformation in which jointness and integration is an important pillar.
Pull-ender. And viewers, with that as a wrap on this edition of Our Defence, we leave you with the latest visuals that have been released by the Indian Army, how India is fully prepared for any conflict. The Ashni platoon, the drone platoon, is also fully prepared, and we tell you how. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind.